In the arid expanse of the Hausa Kingdom, where the golden dunes stretched endlessly beneath the sunlit sky, a princess, Princess Amina, stood on the precipice of a life-changing decision. At 18, she was poised, intelligent, and fiercely loyal to her people. Her father, the emir, had promised her hand in marriage to Prince Ife of the Edo Kingdom, a political alliance intended to fortify peace between their regions. But destiny, like the desert wind, often refuses to follow a predictable path. The day began with a jubilation in the palace. Drummers played a lively rhythm as maidens adorned in flowing Ankara skirts danced gracefully in the courtyard. The emir, a towering figure draped in a resplendent white abaya and turban, stood before his subjects to declare Amina's betrothal. Amina, seated beside him, tried to mask her turmoil. Her bridal attire, a turquoise gown with silver accents and intricate jewelry, was as dazzling as the sunlight that bounced off the palace walls, yet her heart felt heavy. How can I marry a man I barely know? Is this truly my duty, or am I a pawn in this game of kingdoms? Amina thought. Fate intervened a week later when Amina embarked on a journey to a distant town near the Yoruba lands. She was tasked with overseeing a charity project for orphaned children. Midway through the journey, a ferocious sandstorm forced her caravan to halt and seek refuge in a near Yoruba village. There she met Ade. Ade was unlike anyone she had ever encountered. Dressed in a flowing agbada adorned with traditional Yoruba embroidery, he exuded strength and humility. He was a warrior who had earned the respect of his people, not just for his skill with a blade, but for his wisdom and kindness. Welcome, princess. The storm is fierce, but our hearts are warm. Please rest here, Ade said. Thank you, warrior. Your hospitality speaks volume of your people's honor. Their conversation was brief, but in fleeting moments, a connection blossomed. For the first time, Amina felt seen, not as a princess, but as a person. Back in the Hausa palace, Amina confided in her childhood friend Zainab about her feelings for Adi. Little did she know that Zainab harbored her own secrets. She was in love with Prince Ife and resented Amina for taking the position she desired. Follow your heart, Amina, but remember your duty to the kingdom comes first, Zainab said, feigning support. Later that night, Zainab wrote a letter to Effie, exposing Amina's growing affection for the Yoruba warrior. My prince, the woman you call your betrothed betrays you with another. Act swiftly and come to claim what is rightfully yours. Zainab said, writing to Effie. Days later, Effie arrived at the Yoruba village, flanked by a retinue of warriors dressed in regal Edo attire, red coral beads, and intricately beaded crown. Amina, come forth and explain yourself. Is this how a princess of the Hausa Kingdom behaves? Amina, who had been helping the village women weave baskets, froze. Ade stepped forward, his expression calm but resolute. Prince Ife, your quarrel is with me. Leave the princess out of this, said Ife. Ife, a mere sneering warrior, dares to challenge a prince? Step aside or I'll have you dragged through the streets like a dog that you are. Enough! This is not a way of kings or warriors. If you must resolve this, do so without bloodshed, said Amina. The tension hung in the air, but Amina's words diffused the immediate conflict. Effie, however, left with a threat. You'll regret this insult, Ade, and Amina, remember your place. Returning to the palace, Amina faced her father, the emir. His disappointment was palpable. Amina, you are my daughter, but above all, you are a servant of this kingdom. This love you chase will bring you nothing but ruin. You will marry Prince Ife as promised. Tears streamed down Amina's face as she pleaded, Father, I beg you to reconsider. My heart belongs somewhere else. How can I bring honor to our people if I live a lie? Love is a luxury we cannot afford, child. Do your duty or be cast out. The emir's turn. On the day of the wedding, the palace was a spectacle of grandeur. Musicians played the kora and kalangu drums, while guests dressed in vibrant attire filled the courtyard. Amina, resplendent in a Hausa Edo fusion bridal gown, walked down the aisle with her head held high, though her heart felt shattered. As she engaged vows with Ife, her mind drifted to Ade. She imagined him standing at the edge of the crowd watching silently. In reality, Ade was miles away, training young warriors in his village. He had let her go, understanding that her sacrifice was for the greater good. Years later, Amina's name became legend. She was remembered not for her heartbreak, but for uniting two powerful kingdoms, ensuring decades of peace. Ade, though he never married, lived a life of purpose, dedicating his life and himself to his people. On quiet nights, beneath the stars, he whispered her name, knowing their love transcended time and circumstance.